going on, guys? My name is Cade Socha. I'm the wide receivers coach at Keiser University. Today I'm going to show you two cone drills that we like to work with our wideouts. First drill I'm going to show you is called the all-in-one drill, where you're going to need is 4 cones, and you're going to set them 5 yards apart from each other, and you're basically just creating a box. What you're going to tell your guys is where you start is where you finish. So one guy's going to go at a time. You're going to want to tell your other guys to back up, get out of the way, either to the left or right, so we don't run into each other towards the end. The guy that's up, you're going to tell him to get beyond the cone. You want him to get in and out of his breaks quickly. During this drill, they're going to work 2 45 cuts, and we're going to talk about the pigeon toe technique for those, and they're going to work 2 speed cuts, and we'll talk about that technique later on. The routes you're going to see worked is the hook route, the comeback route, the speed out, and also the speed in. So for the first 2 cuts, that's where they're working that 45 cut, that pigeon toe technique on the first 2 cones. On the third and fourth one, that's where you're going to see the speed cuts. And like I said, where you start is where you finish. So once they get off that 4th cone, they're going to finish through and expect a ball. So here it is right here. You see the first 2 45 cuts on the first 2 cones. And on the 3rd and 4th one, that's where you get the speed cuts and a ball coming at the end. I'm going to show a couple more times here. One thing that we like to do is when they come off this first cone, you can throw a tennis ball, you can throw another ball, and they're just getting another ball added to it, to the drill. We also like it where we move the coach down here and we throw it to them on the end, so it's simulating the speed in. So they're just catching the ball from another angle. So that's the all-in-one drill. The 2 45 cuts and the 2 speed cuts, finishing where you start. So I was talking about that pigeon toe earlier. I just want to talk about it a little bit more into detail right here. So when we talk about our plant foot and we're talking about the pigeon toe, whether it's a 90 cut, a 45 cut, we want to always talk about our instep of our plant foot. So our plant foot right here, in this case, is our right foot right here. We're just breaking on a 45, and we know that pigeons walk inward. So when we talk about the pigeon toe, where our instep is pointing at, that's where we're going to end up. So we want to make sure we do a good job with planning and showing with our plant foot with the direction of where we want to go next. We also use terms like stick and kick, getting off the spot. So I'm going to let this video run through so you can see it. We'll show it one more time. There it is right there. And here it is again. Just as you can see, there's that pigeon toe. And this is like for your curl route, your comeback, your hook route. And you see this foot is sticking, this foot is kicking, and he's getting off the spot. I'll let this video run. There it is right there. Doing a good job getting off the spot. So that's the pigeon toe. So now, if you get a guy that's struggling with your speed cuts, and the coach what we use for that is lead step, open step, get your head around. We like to do this little drill right here. We call this the little circle drill, and you can get really creative with it. And you can have 2 guys going at a time, and you can have one guy lined up here, obviously, and another guy right here. And basically, what they're doing is they're just staying tight to this cone. They're staying tight to these cones, and they're chasing each other, and they are working essentially that speed cut footwork. So I'm going to let this drill run, staying tight to the cone, pumping his arms, using that lead step, open step. He's using his head to get to the next one. So that's the little circle one. We can also expand the same exact drill, have this guy right here, have another one right here chasing him, and you can also flip it. I'm just going to let that play for you. Just working that speed cut, no steps heard. It's very different from a 45 cut, a 90 cut. This is a cut where you're rolling into it. So there's that right there. All right, so here's the actual drill. So where you start is where you finish. We're going to see the guy right here. He's going to start right here. He's going to work those 2 45 cuts, and he's going to work the 2 speed cuts. Getting off the spot. See how he uses his head to get around. Finishes with the ball. Nice job right there. Show it again with another guy. Using that pigeon toe, using that instep to get off the spot, showing the direction, uses his head to get around, and finishes with a nice catch. Show it one more time with another guy. Pumping his arms at his breaks, they can't go dead. Finishes with the ball. Nice. That's the all-in-one drill. Appreciate you guys.